Okay, so now I'd like to do some chord voicings, and when we do the chord voicings I'm going to show you what they are and maybe explain what the notes are and stuff, but you'll probably be able to hear the music in it hopefully straight away, and the reason for that will be, I hope, that we're talking about close movement in the top of our voicing and probably in the middle of in the middle of our voicing as well. So if we take that old chappy there, right, which is half diminished, and we look at the notes, we've got a D, A flat, C and an F. And then if we look at a chord that's close to that and that represents the sound that we want to change to in the 5 chord, which is a G altered, we could look at that sort of chord there, and the F's staying the same, right? So we've got a common tone there. And then maybe we look at, those notes are G, F, and then a D flat, the flat 5, get the tritone in there, tritone, and then an F again. And so that's quite an open sound. There's no third in there, but there is a 7th, twice in fact. And yeah, so we get an idea of the sound, but we don't have a absolute defined our classic chord like that. But it still works, right? So far we have this, and let's keep that note there and do like a minor major 9 11, which is kind of an open sound, isn't it? Really, it's a little bit open. And you could put that note on top of the voicing in any way that you want, or that sounds right to you, whatever. You know, there's again, this is not licks, this is not hot licks video. This is more like open to interpretation. So I've just used this note as my targeting point, but all of the chords have changed in conjunction with that sound, that tune. You know, the melody or the chords that are actually supposed to be having the changes. But it's a more melodic sort of way rather than just sort of going and just staying to my positions, which sounds alright and can be still quite musical. But to me, this is a really good way to practice, and it's methodical, and you sit down and you go, right, I'm going to do I'm going to do F for a little bit. And maybe G. A flat now, and I might have to change if I want that sound. You don't have to. You could do like a sharp 5, but or a flat 6. But I like to maybe change to a G or on the C minor, right, or an A. C, and maybe up to a D flat. Up to the D. Now I've stayed close in most of those examples to chords that I've already played, but the music's still going by, hopefully in a relatively understandable and listenable fashion. So yeah, there's some ideas on voice leading with respect to common or near common tones, you know. And I'm going to do an example of an exercise that I do to get a better understanding of how I can do this near common tone thing when the chords are going flashing around. So we're going to do that in a second.